Hello crafted shutter watchers, welcome to another great video today, and this is not a clickbait title. This is actually a really important subject for you as a creator, whether you're in photo or video. Of course, you know I'm mainly a stock video shooter. I do put up stock photos as well, and I'm going to talk about cameras and why your camera is obsolete, meaning it doesn't matter as much anymore. All of these cameras, this Canon XC15, the Sony XC10, this Olympus, the A7 III I'm shooting on, my phone, this 10-year-old camera, all of these are capable of producing good video. In fact, really decent video. And to the untrained eye out there on the street, which is 99% of the people out there on the planet, who just look at something and have no clue of what you shot it with, any of these cameras could produce an image that everyone's gonna like. And so the thing is what's happening now is I see a lot of gearheads, and I love gear. I love buying cameras, right? It can become a disease. It can run you into debt. And I try not to do that, but I love buying gear and playing with it, and there are certain tools that are much easier to use for certain situations, and in that case, that's when you want to buy a camera for a specific task or for a certain style that you shoot that helps you do something right now. That's the most important thing, and that is to tell a story. So you want to have a camera that will help you tell a story the best way you like to shoot. Cameras at this point, as far as quality goes, are obsolete. Your camera is just as obsolete as a red camera. A red camera is just as obsolete as my iPhone. Okay? It's obsolete because the technology has gotten so good that people don't care what you shot it on. They don't have one bit of care. What they're looking for is content and story, okay? So we get online and we get in this really small mindset and start pixel peeping and start saying, 420 can't produce a good enough image. On color, you need 422. 8-bit's not gonna be good enough. You need 10-bit. In certain instances, only a few of those things ever really apply. And for me, as a professional, when I shoot green screen, I like 422. It keys better, okay? Yeah, I have a camera that shoots 422 for my green screen. But in reality, friends, we are really missing the boat by running along with everybody else, trying to think of what's going to be the latest and greatest, when that's not what's holding you back from making money in the least bit, okay? It's just not holding you back. I've been shooting on my own for 10 years now, and I have never been questioned when I brought in my little Olympus because of the 5-axis image stabilization. I'd set this thing up. I'd set up a big camera. I used to have a big camera. And I would set that up for the talking headshot, and I would use this to grab B-roll because I didn't need a gimbal or anything. I just put the strap around my neck, could get great shots. Shot hundreds of commercials with that camera using for B-roll because of the stabilization built in. Made my job easier. It made everything flow smoother. It was fantastic. So the tool itself is important, yes. But the image quality, friends, it's changed. I mean, if you take my phone and you walk out on a bright sunny day, you set the A7 III at f11 or f8, and you take my phone and shoot, you won't be able to tell the difference. In fact, the phone can oftentimes have better quality because of the HDR processing that's built into the phone. So as you're a stock producer, you need to stop right now and say, the camera that I have, as long as it can shoot 1080, preferably 4K. You need a camera that can shoot 4K. You can find used GH4 cameras that can shoot 4K for a few $100. So any camera you can get should be able to shoot 4K for really cheap, okay? So you can, if you're a stock producer, I recommend you can shoot 1080. It's fine. Most of the sales out there are 1080. At least 90% of them now are still 1080 file sales. So 1080 is that's not going to limit you either, okay, as far as making money. What is going to limit you is this right here. It's what's behind the lens about 6 inches. Your brain and your eye right there. Those working together are the future. And the reason I say that is because with the technology making the playing field level, because now every camera is obsolete as far as technology goes. Now it comes down to the creator. Now, how is my vision better than somebody else's? How can I tell a story better than somebody else can? Because it's in the story. The same thing when you shoot a stock clip. How can I shoot this stock clip in a way that no one else has done it? How can I get a unique angle? How can I change the theme up on this subject a little differently? It's this mindset that's going to make you money in the future. It's not going to be the red camera. You walk on shooting stock with a big red camera, you think you've arrived, and you shoot boring shots. It won't matter because the guy behind you can come along with his phone and blow you away. And that's the interesting part about the time we live. I find it fascinating. I find it fantastic, really, because now it's shifted away from gear. Where it used to be, it was all about the gear. And man, people still say it's all about the gear. You know, I upped my budget and I was able to get a C200. You could have done the same thing with your C100, okay? It's just a fact. So, yes, there is a purpose to buying gear when you're a working professional, okay? Like me, like you if you're watching a professional. But for people watching your videos on their phone, which is most of the time where the world is at, maybe on their computer screen and maybe on their TV, YouTube compresses your beautiful red footage anyway. So if you're shooting for, just mainly online content, you just wasted a whole lot of money. All right? You just wasted a lot of money. So where should you put your money and your time? You should put your time in studying how to create more creative shots, how to be more creative with the camera that you have. You should get better glass instead of a better camera because that can change the image way more than the camera can itself. So get better glass. Focus on creativity. Focus on your storytelling because everything you have is obsolete as far as across the board. If you got a Canon 90D, shoots 1080, has great autofocus, easy to use, and you're a better storyteller than the guy with the red, you're going to be the one that succeeds than the guy with the red camera that doesn't know how to tell a story with his camera. And the same thing goes for stock video. When you know how to tell a story with each clip, when you think about what you're doing, when you think about the purpose of what it is commercially, of how this clip could be used, I can improve on this a lot. You can improve on this. We all can improve on this. But this is where the future's headed. The argument over cameras is becoming less and less important. The way you tell a story, how you sell yourself, how you work with people, how creative you are, that's the future. It's not the gear anymore. So I hope you take that to heart. Hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, ring that bell, hit that subscribe button. And I look forward to sharing a lot more with you on this channel. People want a lot more talk about mobile video producing with the phone. So we're going to do a lot of that. Not completely. I can't leave my Sony a7 III to cry by itself too long, but I'm going to be focusing a lot on what you can do with your phone, especially into 2020. So hang around for that. I'm going to cover all the bases. And hopefully you've enjoyed this. Get your wheels thinking about where you need to spend your money for education, for lenses, for creativity, whatever helps you achieve that. That's a good place to spend your money. We will see you in the next video.